All right, it's time to go over our top 20 wide receivers for 2024, and there's a little bit of changes here since the last time we did the rankings, so let's dive right into it. So the first guy we have to talk about on the list is CeeDee Lamb. As of the recording of this video, he hasn't signed his contract with the Cowboys yet, but I am just not worried about getting this contract done. We know CeeDee Lamb will sign his contract and will be on the field. He is in a pass-happy first offense with Dak Prescott throwing the football. I'm not worried about anything they have at the running back position, whether it be Rico Dowdle or Ezekiel Elliott. I think they're going to pass the football. He's got wide receivers on the other side of him like Brandon Cooks. I'm just not worried about anybody else in this offense getting any type of quality targets than CeeDee Lamb. He is clearly my number one guy. I think he has a very high floor and a high ceiling, as we saw in the Super Bowl of last season. So, and I'm talking about the fantasy football Super Bowl round, which was week 17. So we saw him actually boom and win a lot of people fantasy football championships. So I'm still high on him this year. I don't care that he doesn't have a contract yet. The contract will get done. If it doesn't, the Cowboys are absolutely ridiculous for not getting that done. I just see it's too far outlandish. They're not going to go into the seasons as Brandon Cooks is their number one wide receiver with CeeDee Lamb on the bench just because they didn't want to pay him like the best receiver in football, because he is the best receiver in football. So it's kind of frustrating just to look at it. But CeeDee Lamb, easily number one for me. Number two, which is probably number one on a lot of people's books, is Tyreek Hill, because he has such a high freaking ceiling. The dude can absolutely play. He can bust through and have a massive week for you and single-handedly win you a week. And that's what you want from your wide receivers, whether in your half PPR or full point PPR. I know that Tyreek Hill is very valuable in what he can give you. That's why he is rated so high. Any given week, Tua Tagovailoa is looking for this guy down the field to score big chunk yardage, and the offense is tailored around this passing game. They can go off on any given play. Now, yes, they do have a nice running game. Raheem Mostert, Devon Achane, I get all that, but they can pass the football with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle over there. Who do they get to help in the wide receiver core? Odell Beckham? You know, I'm not worried about that whatsoever. Tyreek Hill is still a set it and forget it type of wide receiver. You need to start him each and every week because he can give you so many fantasy points. I love Tyreek Hill. Moves down to number 3. Still here for me is Ja'Marr Chase. At the recording of this video, he still hasn't signed his any kind of extension or anything for him. I'm not worried about that at all. I think week 1 he will be there. He'll be rock and rolling. Joe Burrow will go to the table and slam his fist down until Ja'Marr Chase gets his contract. That way he can have a long-term deal. They already know they're not going to keep T. Higgins next season. He's going to be gone. They need to make sure they secure Ja'Marr Chase. He is the guy that's linked up with Joe Burrow ever since those LSU days. They need to get the job done. Again, so this season, I see Joe Burrow. He should stay healthy this season. I look for him to stay healthy, and he's going to pass the football to Ja'Marr Chase quite a bit. I think he's going to have a massive season. A lot of people may be down on Chase a little bit because of what happened last season. He definitely didn't fulfill expectations, whether it be injury or not. He just wasn't what he used to be, right? So I think 2024, we see Ja'Marr Chase come back to his old self and be the dominant wide receiver that we all know and love. So the next guy here at number 4, we have to go Amon-Ra St. Brown, the sun god himself. I think that he is just, especially like in a PPR league, he's a set it forget it easily. His floor probably has the highest floor of any wide receiver in the NFL right now. He is targeted so much by Jared Goff. He's a trusted person. Doesn't matter if they need a first down or a touchdown. It doesn't matter. They're looking for Amon-Ra St. Brown first and foremost, before the Sam Laportas or the Jameson Williams. Before all that, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Okay, maybe he's covered, then go to somebody else. So I just like the opportunity that he has. If you're, like I said, if you're in a half point per reception or a full point per reception league, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a set it and forget it type of player. I love this guy. Coming here at number 5, we're going to go over with Justin Jefferson. Even though we know J.J. McCarthy is out for the season, Sam Darnold can still get it done. We saw when Kirk Cousins was injured last season, Justin Jefferson was still on pace to be a phenomenal fantasy wide receiver. So it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. They just have to throw it to Justin Jefferson, and he will make sure he gets that catch. He will get the opportunity. Even with Sam Darnold, I think he is going to be a nice wide receiver. I gotta put him down a little bit of, a couple notches down other than these other epic elite wide receivers, but he's still in my top 5. I think Justin Jefferson, I think he's an absolute slam play. You gotta love this guy, right? So coming here at number 6, I'm going over with another wide receiver over there from the Philadelphia Eagles. We're saying AJ Brown. Now he gets those elite weeks, right? He's pretty consistent for the most part. there's going to be maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks that Devonta Smith is really going to be getting more of those pass catches, which is going to lower his ceiling just a little bit, just because there's going to be some weeks where he is not the number one featured go-to guy. But in most weeks, he is. So he's got to be at number 6 for me. If it wasn't for Devonta Smith, I think I would probably have A.J. Brown in my top 5. I think he's just elite. He's just that good. He's a physical specimen. He's dominant. He can catch the ball wherever he wants. It doesn't matter. And Jalen Hurts has the trust with this guy to just throw the football up and get it done. I like A.J. Brown. Set it, forget it. Another wide receiver that I love. Another guy here at number 7 who I think is going to have a bomb year as long as Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. That's going to be Garrett Wilson. The dude is phenomenal. The way that he runs routes, and he can just lose defenders in their shoes. I mean, this dude can run some routes, and he can catch the football with ease. I love what Garrett Wilson can do this season. I think he has potential to be a top 5 wide receiver. I just love all these guys. I can't put them all into my top 5, but I am very, very high on Garrett Wilson. And yes, I do have him above people like Puka Nacua, where other people may have him up there. Maybe like, Marvin Harrison or Drake London, all these guys. So I've seen a lot of people above Garrett Wilson. I think that's bananas to me. Absolute bananas. I think this guy is going to get it done and get it done at a very, very high level. I love myself some Garrett Wilson this season in 2024. Coming on our first change here at number 8, I'm going Deebo Samuel. I'm bumping him up here a couple spots. There's a couple reasons for this right now. As of right now, we don't know what's going on with Brandon Ayuk. Is he going to be on the team? Is he going to be traded? Don't really know. The biggest part of him being bumped up so high for me right now is that there's a chance Brandon Ayuk is not on this football team. And if Deebo Samuel is the guy, the number 1 guy with Ricky Pearsall as the number 2 guy on the opposite side of him, Deebo Samuel will be getting so many targets. Holy bananas. I think he's going to be getting some jet sweeps. He's going to be getting a lot of targets. He's going to be the number 1 go-to guy in this offense. And we have to put some respect on Deebo Samuel's name. The dude is a great fantasy football player for you guys. He's somebody that you want to be able to target. I've got to put him here at number 8 for me. I think he could be a slam dunk play because his ADP doesn't quite reflect Brandon Ayuk leaving. There's a good chance Ayuk stays. I get that. But as of right now, I've got to go with what's there, and no one's getting anything done for Brandon Ayuk. We don't know what's happening as of the recording of this video. We'll just have to wait and see, but I have Deebo Samuel at number 8. Coming at number 9, had to drop him down 1 spot here. That's Marvin Harrison Jr. Still like him again, but we have to remember he is a rookie still, no matter what, right? So he's going to be the number 1 target for Kyler Murray. I get it. They still got Trey McBride there at the tight end position. He's going to do well, right? But Marvin Harrison Jr., again, is a rookie. We have to kind of temper our expectations for rookie wide receivers or any rookie for that reason, right? So Marvin Harrison is going to get his, and I think he's going to clear 1,000 yards receiving. I think that is a gimme. He's the only option at the wide receiver position for the Arizona Cardinals. The only other receiving option that you can say is actually legit would be Trey McBride, maybe Greg Dortch, right? But that's nor here nor there. But like I said, he's going to be good. I think I like him in my top 10. I think Marvin Harrison is a phenomenal player. I just had to drop him down a spot because I had Deebo Samuel popping up there 2 spots. So coming here at number 10, I'm going Puka Nacua. Finally have to go Puka Nacua because I don't see him in a situation where he is going to be better than Garrett Wilson. There will be regression. I get it. Puka Nacua had one of the best, absolute best rookie wide receiver seasons you could possibly ever have. Right, we've never seen that before. There's going to be regression off of that. Cooper Kupp had some injury issues. Cooper Kupp may be the number 1 go-to guy again. Matthew Stafford's at the quarterback position. He trusts Cooper Kupp quite a bit. What's going to be the swing of the pendulum, right? Is it going to swing more towards Puka Nacua? Is it going to swing more towards Cooper Kupp? Either way it goes, it's not going to be all Puka Nacua. You're going to see regression there. That's why I have him falling at the back end of the top 10 for me. Let's look at number 11, somebody who's still there for me. That's Davante Adams. We now know that Gardner Minshew is named the starting quarterback for the 2024 season. I think that's a good thing for Davante Adams. The last time we did a ranking, I told you guys, we don't know if it's going to be Minshew. We don't know if it's going to be O'Connell. But if we're here for just fantasy football purposes only, we want Gardner Minshew the quarterback because I think he gives the better fantasy option for Davante Adams. And sure enough, he was named the quarterback, which means Davante Adams should have a nice fantasy football season. He's going to be targeted early and often. Yes, we do have Jacoby Myers on the other side, but I don't think that's going to deviate him from his fantasy production in 2024. You have to get Davante Adams into your lineups, guys. So coming right here at number 12, next guy down here, we're going Chris Olave, right? He plays for the New Orleans Saints. He's the main wide receiver for Derek Carr to throw the football to. Yes, we have other options like Rashid Shaheed, Jawan Johnson, even A.T. Perry. You guys know my love for A.T. Perry on this channel, but there's other options there. But there's a clear #1 wide receiver in this offense, and that is Chris Olave. The way that he can break out in and out of his routes, he can catch the football. Wasn't too long ago, we named his other 2 predecessors that was there over there at Ohio State with him, with Garrett Wilson and Marvin Harrison Jr. and all these guys that were over there. At Ohio State, we had Jackson Smith and Jigba actually played with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. Chris Olave is good. He's very, very good, and we've seen that in the NFL. He just hasn't had the offensive line around him. Has the New Orleans Saints upgraded that offensive line? Yes. Will they be able to gel together to make an improvement of the offensive line? Well, we have to wait and see. I think that it's good enough, or at least better than it was last season. So I think Chris Olave is going to have a lot of opportunities to go there and show you guys, hey, look, you guys took a chance on me, maybe mid to late second round of my draft. Let's see if I can produce for you, and I think he will in 2024. So move right along here at number 13. I'm finally going Drake London here. So a lot of people have Drake London a lot higher, right there. Like they got all these hype, right? Kirk Cousins in there. We saw what Kirk Cousins did for Justin Jefferson. Well, newsflash, Drake London isn't Justin Jefferson, but he's a very good wide receiver, and I think Drake London finally gets his first 1,000-yard receiving in 2024 with Kirk Cousins, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense. We do have Drake London, we do have Kyle Pitts, we do have Bijan Robinson, and don't forget about Darnell Mooney on the opposite side of the football field. So while I do think Drake London hits 1,000 yards receiving, I think we have to temper our expectations. I have him here at number 13. I think that's a good medium soft ground for him to be landing at. I like Drake London this season. No knock against the guy. I just don't think he's a top 10 wide receiver in 2024. Move right along here at number 14. We're talking about DK Metcalf. This guy is a physical specimen. He's great for the Seattle Seahawks. He does a lot of good work over there with the opposite side of Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. You know, Geno Smith is looking for this guy early and often. He is the #1 target. He's the go-to guy. We've seen him even break out a lot of plays and score you some nice touchdowns. I think he's just a good overall player, and you can't go wrong with grabbing DK Metcalf at the end of the second round, early third round, something like that. I think that's a slam, set it and forget it type of wide receiver that can produce solid fantasy football points for you in 2024. So move right along here at number 15. We had to bump him up 4 spots. That's Cooper Kupp. Again, we kind of touched on a little bit earlier when we were talking about Puka Nacua. Is this going to be Puka Nacua's team? Is it going to be Cooper Kupp's team? We don't really know. I just think that there's going to be a step up for Cooper Kupp, and there's going to be a regression for Puka Nacua. Either way it goes, I think Matthew Stafford's going to get the done. He can support 2 wide receivers for fantasy football. We are going to see that in 2024. Nobody else on this offense that I'm really worried about. They have a decent running game. Definitely Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, the rookie out of Michigan, coming over there. But it's going to be on the shoulder of Matthew Stafford if they want to make something happen. And it's going to be because of Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. I had to bump him up here into my top 15. Coming here at number 16, I'm going Michael Pittman Jr., you know, the wide receiver over there with the Indianapolis Colts. And we're starting to see it already in the playoffs. Anthony Richardson can throw the football, right? He can get it done. So I just think that, you know, especially a PPR league, there's such a high floor for Michael Pittman. He's not going to wow you with some of his end numbers, you know, and go over there for 200 plus receiving yards in a game, but he's going to give you consistent amount of numbers to where at least he's putting some points on the field for you to help you win in fantasy football. Easily here at number 16 for me. Coming at number 17, Mike Evans, right? We saw him like every year he's been in the NFL. He's had at least 1,000 yards receiving. The dude has been an absolute machine, and he's good. He has a good connection with Baker Mayfield. I think that's going to keep on continuing here. Who am I? Who am I to say that Mike Evans is not going to be anything? Last year, if you guys are following my channel, I called Mike Evans a bust, and boy, did that bust into my face.
What?
Pause. That didn't come out the way I wanted it to, but you know what I'm talking about here. I missed on that, right? And I am not going to second guess myself again on Mike Evans. Look, when I'm wrong, I'm humble enough to tell you guys I was wrong. I was wrong last season. I will not be wrong again this season. Mike Evans should be phenomenal, easily at number 17 for me. Moving right along here at number 18, I'm going Brandon Ayuk, and I had to drop him down a couple spots here again because we just don't know, right? He's getting no practice reps with the 49ers. Will he be on the 49ers? Will he be on the Steelers? Will he be on the Commanders? Will he be anywhere? The Patriots? Who knows where he's going to end up being? I can't tell you. So at this point, I still have to keep dropping it back because there's other wide receivers that I would rather you draft that we know about before we know what landing spot Brandon Ayuk's going to be in. Will he be a number 1 wide receiver? Will he be number 2 wide receiver? We don't know. And I can't on this channel tell you guys as a top 15 wide receiver, give you a wide receiver where we don't know where he's going to be in the offense. So as of right now, I had to drop him down here to number 18 for me. We're going to have to wait and see. As the recording of this video, nothing's done. We don't know what's going to happen. He doesn't have a deal with the 49ers and he hasn't been traded yet. So We'll see. I'll probably come out with an update on the channel once that happens. That way we can kind of talk about the fantasy implications once we know where he's going to be at for 2024. Coming here at number 19, a player that I really like, had to bump it up one spot. That's George Pickens. We see this guy. Phenomenal. The way he can catch the football. It doesn't matter. Just launch the ball up there. We've seen him do well in the preseason with Wilson. We've seen him do well in the preseason with Fields. So it doesn't matter who the quarterback's going to be. George Pickens is going to be great for fantasy football. We saw George Pickens put up over 1,100 fantasy yards with quarterbacks like Kenny Pickett. Come on, guys. It doesn't matter who's going to be the quarterback, whether it's Wilson or whether it's going to Fields. They're both an upgrade over Kenny Pickett. And when you get an upgrade, and then an upgrade in the situation as well, Deontay Johnson's not there anymore. He is the true number 1 wide receiver for this team. There's no way he scores under what he did. He's going to clear 1,100 passing yards, receiving yards in 2024. Phenomenal pick for me. I like him. He's probably one of my biggest sleepers in 2024. Love me some George Pickens. Let's go over number 20 right here. We had Nico Collins. I had them flip-flop some spots, but Nico Collins dropped a couple spots here. And most of the reason I like Nico Collins, right? The more I think about it, you know, they're grabbing Stephon Diggs. They still have Tank Dell. They re-signed Dalton Schultz, right? They got Mixon up in the mix as well. There's so many mouths to feed, right? And in 2024, will Nico have some spike weeks? Yes. Will he have some bad weeks because Tank Dell went off? Yes. Will he have some bad weeks because Stephon Diggs went off? Yes. So you're not going to know. So especially in like redraft leagues and dynasty leagues, you're not going to know which weeks to put him into your lineup. I mean, you're probably going to put him up in every week, and there's going to be some weeks you're going to sit there with a crying emoji face because he put up a cockadoodle, number for you. He's more of a best ball play for me. I would rather Nico Collins over there. That way, when he has that spike week, he's already in your lineup. If he's not, somebody else can take that place. I like him more of that. But that is definitely my top 20 rankings for wide receivers in 2024, guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're mocking out videos each and every week, multiple videos to help you best dominate your league, guys. I want to make sure you put a comment down below. Who out of this top 20, right, is your favorite player to draft in 2024? And is there anybody in this top 20 that I have you think does not belong here? And if so, let me know who you guys would put in the top 20 in their place. But guys, I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.